Hello and welcome back. You're jamming out, huh?
I hear music in my head, so yeah.
All right.
It doesn't really work that right before you started, I was listening to music, so
True.
my bad.
True. But, what's this again?
This is Men Tell Recovery, a podcast brought to you by men for men, where we talk about stuff that men go through on the daily, but we don't talk about enough.
Sounds about right. But it sounds like something we should bring to light. So,
All the time.
yep. So that's what we're doing. That's what this podcast is basically all about. We bring things into the light that should be basically focused on for the male perspective and for guys around the world. Because most of the time we feel like we can't talk to anybody or anything like that.
Yeah, most of the time we feel like we want to talk, but we won't. And if we do talk, we feel a little weak. So it just depends who you're talking to and all the other things as well. But I think it's more of guys need to understand that we have hearts, we have emotion, we have feelings. Like,
Yeah, it's okay to talk when you need it.
yeah. And so, we need to bring a podcast out that says, hey guys, be guys, but then also be yourself. Like
Have a soft
you
heart.
don't have to have the society say who you are. Just be who you are. Like it's pretty simple on that. It's much harder to do, but it is pretty simple because it really is just one of those things that we have to go and say, hi, I'm Chris, and this is what it is. And that's it. Like we don't have to worry about what everyone else thinks. Like, like how somebody said that what's one thing you don't fear that everyone else fears, and it's saying being understood.
That is very impactful, actually.
I
'Cause
think
I was
that's
going to say needles.
Yeah, it's a good one because it really is just one of those things that, at first you really just want to be understood. You talk to everybody and just want to make sure you connect and you want to yada, yada, yada with it. But at the end of the day, it's just you need to understand you. You don't need to understand everybody, and everyone doesn't have to understand you. You find those people that connect with you and you keep them close to you, hold on tight. Other than that, if somebody doesn't understand you, all right, it's cool.
Yeah,
I don't need to worry about
somebody
it.
else.
Yeah, it's something that's not a big problem. Like,
Yeah.
it's really just one of those things.
Just because one person doesn't understand you doesn't mean nobody will understand you.
Exactly.
You just need to find the right person.
And then even if nobody does, just understand yourself.
Yeah.
That's really all it comes down to. Is as long as you understand who you are, you can ground yourself and you can understand, hey, this is me. Nobody else's opinions really matter. Nobody else can really help you unless you try to help yourself. Like, it's always going to be stuff like that. Like, yes, we're here to try to help you, but it's also you have to let us help you the same way we have to let you help us.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. I can be there every day saying, hey, go do this, hey, go do this, hey, go do this. But if you never do, that is not my fault. That is
You are your biggest obstacle.
exactly. And so we just
clarity
need to
of
see it.
mind is one of the best things that we can ever hope to achieve, I should say.
Yeah, like we say every time, if you can talk to a therapist, talk to one. If it's not for you, it's still a good idea to talk to one because it'll tell you if you need it or you don't. And I just think the biggest thing is you need to understand that you have to let stuff go. You have to talk about it. You have to see it through a clear mind. And it's a lot harder to see it through a clear mind when you hold on to it for minutes, days, hours. Like, it doesn't matter how long you hold on to it.
Yeah, and sometimes a good third-party perspective is what we need to see.
Yeah.
Because the best thing I've learned to do over my time is just take a step back and look at it from an outside perspective instead of just being stuck in it the whole time.
Yeah.
But that's what I like doing.
No, that's exactly all it is. And so, sometimes I feel like I should be a therapist because it's times I'm like, hey, listen, like you need to listen. And, that's not my job. And that's what we're talking about today. But it really is just one of those things that it's, you sometimes just need that person to tell you, hey, you're screwing up.
Yeah.
And see it from yourself. Like sometimes you may think you're doing the right thing and you need to be able to see it through your own eyes that you're not. But it's very hard to do that unless you can ground yourself. It's just like one of the topics we will talk about over time where I put being protective and territorial over being controlling.
Yeah.
Like you can see it through your eyes and not think you're being controlling and you think you have a healthy relationship and yada, yada, yada.
But then once you see it from the outside perspective, it's like, whoa,
Yeah,
okay,
oh,
I was a bit overbearing.
I was a bit there, and that's not you not understanding. That's just you not seeing it.
Yeah.
And so sometimes you do need that third party to show you what you're missing, but that doesn't mean they're teaching you that. In the end of the day, you are teaching yourself that. You have to be able to look at it and go, I was in the wrong, or I was doing something and be able to look at it and say, I'm going to fix it, I'm going to recover from it, and I'm going to be a better man. And so hopefully with this podcast, if you're listening weekly, we can teach you things and we can understand and we can learn. And, you know, you can understand, okay, I never saw it through that perspective. Let me look at my past. Let me look at my history and go, oh, yeah, they're right. They're right.
And mind you guys, we're still working through this. This is still trial period and all that stuff. So any feedback you guys can give us would be greatly appreciated. Constructive criticism or praise or whatever. Anything helps. And if it's to help it make it better listening style for you guys or better viewing style for those looking on YouTube, just let us know what we're doing right and wrong, what you would like to see more of. I know I stutter a lot and I take long pauses. My brain is slow, so it needs time to catch up with my mouth sometimes. And I'm doing better. I'm working on it, trying to keep the conversation flowing.
Yeah.
But what are we talking about today? Because you brought it up a little bit, but...
I did already. Jobs. We're going to talk about working. We're going to talk about even, it's weird to say it, but the mentality behind working. There is a lot of different things that you look at. And so like some people are workaholics, where some people can only be able to be happy if they're working.
Yeah.
Some people need to be busy almost 24/7 and continuous.
It's their whole life.
Yeah. And then other people, it's the exact opposite. A lot of other people are, I don't want to work a full 40-hour week. I'd much rather work at 30 and be able to hang out with my friends and hang out with my family and grow up with people and watch my kids grow up, whatever it is.
I wish I had that.
And so, and that's where we're opposite.
Yeah.
Is I'd much rather work, a 60-hour week than a 30 or 40. I'd much rather be busy.
Well, don't get me wrong. I don't mind working, but it's just the fact that my work has me doing, 65-hour work weeks? Like 6 10s, and it's just, oh, man.
Yeah, it's not bad.
It's mentally draining.
Yeah. And then that's, again, from one perspective, it's mentally draining. For me, that mentally gets me going.
Yeah, but it's just the nature of my job. Like, if I was doing it in another field, oh, yeah, I'd be having a blast.
Yeah.
But it's just the field that I'm in. Ugh.
Yeah, mine never mattered on the field. It was just as long as I was working, I was good. So it was like when I was working 3-4 jobs, I was working 7 days a week. Granted, it was all different jobs because can't really work 7 days a week.
Gotta get that bacon.
It wasn't even that. It was just I was not happy when I was not working. If I was sitting at home playing a game or if I was just driving around, whatever it was, I just wasn't there. I was just going, what am I doing with my life? Like,
Yeah,
this
the
is
whole
just
time you were thinking, I could be
productive.
working.
I could be productive and being doing something. Like, I could go and do whatever it was. So, I was working at a lounge. I was working at a vape company. I was doing all these different things, working at a pizza place. And it was, okay, well, I go in at this time and at this time. Okay, tomorrow morning, I go in at 5. I get off at 2. Go to here at 3. Get off at 9. Go from there to 9. Get off at 2. Wake up at 5. Go to work at 6 the next day. So I was sleeping 3 hours, which doesn't really bother me. I don't mind that. And so it's
basically a power nap.
Yeah, but that's all I needed. I could sleep probably 12 hours a week and be perfectly fine. I don't think it messes with me like mentally or physically. I think I'm actually pretty good on it. I know supposed to do 8 hours, but for me, it just...
Yeah, 6 to 8.
I almost feel like it's a waste for me. And so it was kind of that as well. Because like even now doing this, I still look at everything we do for this and I'm like, okay, here. All right, let me go to sleep. Actually, let me look at this now. Okay,
yeah, there's
actually, let me look at this. And
yeah,
it was
one more thing I got to do.
But it was never like, I have to go check it. I was like, okay, let me go check it. Like, this is good. I can learn. I can teach myself. Like, I just wanted to teach myself over and over. And so it was like the whole jack of all trades, master of none. So I could just continuously go and look at something and be like, okay. And it's like even now, there's still a lot of things where somebody, I'm going to do this. That wire goes there. How do you know that? I was an electrician for a year. I don't know why I remember that, but I did. What about this? You put that pipe into that. How do you know that? I did irrigation. Chris, what didn't you do? Nothing. Like, I don't know. Like, a lot of the time it is just I like to work. And so it's continuously working is something good for me mentally. For you, because, again, the job that you're in, based on your job, you don't like it, and so it's mentally draining.
Yeah, basically. Like, if I was still doing what my first job out of high school was, oh, man, I'd be having a blast in more ways than one. Because I was with the demolition company, as you know.
Yep.
But, man, I would that was back when I would go to college, and I would have classes that end at 10, and then go all the way to like get home at midnight, wake up at 2 a.m. and be out blowing stuff up by 5 or 6 in the morning.
Yeah, but with doing all that mentally, you were good
Yeah, I was great.
because you were having fun and
Yeah.
all the
I
other
mean,
stuff.
who doesn't like watching things explode?
But again, it just depends on who you are and what you're doing. So,
Yeah.
like
I have a simple mind.
for you, how do you think like your job right now affects you mentally?
Oh, it's just all the stress of the people. For those who don't know, I'm a bus driver. I'm not going to say which company, but it is the amount of people that come in and just give hate to me every day is just it's making me not want to work at this job anymore.
A lot of people will understand that just from customer service jobs as well.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. But it's just so many people come in and assume things, and it's just like, no, it's an easy job because all we do is drive in circles, but they're not accounting for all the people that we have to deal with on the daily.
Well, that's, yeah, again, like I said, customer service job. You have people that work at like McDonald's, Del Taco, whatever
Yeah,
it is, and you're just, oh, that's an easy job. But then if you're like, no, you don't get those customers that ask for ranch, and when you only give them one, they freak out at you every single time.
Yeah.
400 times in one day, and they just start getting stressed about it.
Yeah, I'd never worked at a fast food place, but I did do customer service at Brookstone.
Yeah.
That was fun.
So it's like, yeah, it's like I think it just depends on the mentality behind the job, but I also
Yeah. And the workplace environment. That's also a big thing. For some.
Yeah. I was like, again, I don't really try to make friends at work. I try to just work. There was never like, oh, let's go get a beer after. I don't really care. I'm here to work. I'm not here to be your friend. Like,
Yeah.
that's all it came down to. I'm
Here
like,
to get a job done. Let's do it.
I'm here
and
to
go
get
home.
paid and go back home. Like, that's it. We can talk throughout the day. I'll be there for you as a human being, but I'm not going to be there just to be your friend. Like that. I don't need a distraction while I'm working. That's how I see it on certain jobs again. But, like working at the pizza place, I worked with my brother.
Yeah.
Kind of hard not to talk trash with your brother. And so it was like, that one was a little bit different, but even there, it was like everybody was friends there, but it was never like enough to get in the way of work. Like you were still like, something would happen. You're like, hey, focus on that. Stop messing around. And then it turned into, okay, got it. Hey, did you watch this show? Yeah. And it was just everything's back on track now. But I don't know. I think it just always depends on the person and the type of job they're doing, like you said,
Yeah.
and mentality behind it. Are you there to waste time? Are you there to make money? Are you there to grow? Are you there? What are you there for? And I think that affects your mental state in it as well.
Yeah.
But
So when you start a new job, are you typically excited to go start it, or are you apprehensive and a little bit nervous going into it?
neither. I'm just there to work. Like, I'm not really going to be there like, oh, if I mess up, they might get mad. I don't care.
Yeah.
If I mess up, I'm new. You can't get mad. Like, I'm sorry. Like, even if it's something big, you're going to teach me correctly, and I'm going to do it correctly. If
Yeah.
you don't teach me correctly, I'm going to do it wrong. That is not my fault. I'm not going to try to bend corners at work. I'm not trying to do anything like that. I go, okay, this is by the books. I'm going through the books. Like, that's it. I'm 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I'm not going to skip 2 to go to 1 to 3 to finish early.
Yeah.
Like-
You're not going to cut corners or
Yeah,
anything like that.
but I'm also not going to be the first one in and last one out. I don't own the place. I'm a worker. I'm going to be the last one in and the first one out. Like, that's just how it goes. I'm there to have a job. I'm there to make money. That's it. I'm not there to try to be the big guy. I'm not trying to be the head honcho. I'm not trying to do that. If you see me being there, you come to me and tell me, cool. If not, I will stay at my level and I will stay there until you see something. And if I don't like it, I'll just find a job that I like.
Yep.
But
Which is telling from your recent job history. But
yeah. No, I don't. Again, like, I've had numerous jobs over the last 10 years. There was only one that I kept for about 10 years, but that was part-time, full-time, part-time, full-time.
yeah, that was the
Pizza.
pizza.
And
Yeah.
it'd be like, okay, let me leave for a year. Hey, I'm coming back. All right, you got these days. Cool. There's never anything worried about it. I was never, oh man, what if I? No,
Yeah,
it's
the
just-
job security there was pretty on point.
Oh yeah, I could still go back, but it's just one of those things. Like, you want to try new things. You want to see what life can give you and what you can earn from it. So let's see.
Yeah. If you had a choice, what would your dream job be? Like, what would you want to see yourself doing every single day, like, till retirement, if you choose to retire?
I would be on only no. So Honestly, no. The only thing I want to do is stocks. Like everyone knows that from anybody that knows me. I've always loved stocks. I can watch them all day and be like, well, what? Oh, okay, well, let me do the research. Oh, this one might drop. Oh, it dropped. Oh, and like, it's exciting for me. I like watching it.
Yeah.
And so it's like stuff like that. Not penny stocks. I hate anything to do with the whatever other ones.
Yeah, it's the whole high risk, high reward thing.
It's not even that. It's just I like watching and learning. It's a learning thing. It has nothing to do with like I can make this much money or I can make this little or I can lose it all or anything like that. It's more of like when you look at stocks, you're going, okay, let me look at this one. Well, who owns parts of this? Okay, this one, and this one. How are they doing? Oh, okay, well, this one's going to have an announcement and it's saying it's going to be something big. So that's probably going to pull this one up a little bit. So if I put, say 500 and then you look at it and all of a sudden it goes up to 1,000, you're like, oh, I was right. And you're just like, oh, I learned something. Okay, let me keep looking. And then other times you're completely wrong.
Yeah, it's the whole digging for research aspect.
Yeah, so it's more of the learning aspect. If I can find a job where I can learn and I can actually see it and go, the whole time.
Connect the dots.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, cool. Like that's going to be fun for me. Mine's not really anything other than like I want to do something that I'm going to learn with. So it's like even when I was looking at like doing welding, it was fun learning it, but then after you learn it, you're like, well, there's not much left to learn. So what else can I do?
Yeah, you can only put a beat down so perfectly.
And so, yeah, so stuff like that. It's just like, it's fun to do. Like I would go into welding still, but I just wouldn't mentally be like excited for it. It wouldn't give me anxiety or depression or anything like that. It would just, I just want to be excited. I'd just be like, again, it'd go back to, let me just go to work, not make friends. Let me just work, get my money and go.
Yeah, do the job, go home.
Where stocks, it's like, okay, I can do this by myself, which is, again, one of those things. If I can find a job where I'm by myself, that's the job I want.
Yeah.
So it's like, if I could do real estate, I'd do that. Like anything that I can teach and learn, I'd want to do.
Yeah.
So it's always that aspect. If I was doing stocks, I can learn it. But if you came to me 20 years down the road, hey, I want to do stocks. All right, you ready? It's a whole teaching program for this. Like you can't just throw money in. Like if you actually want to do it yourself, this is how it is. If not, you're going to pay somebody to make you money. And then why not just go open a business or something?
Yeah. At that point, just open up a stock firm or something like that and get on the line.
And so it's more of the stuff like that. But with that, you're talking about getting a job and all that. What about leaving a job? How about when you left like the demolition job? How'd you feel?
I felt sad. Not because of...
And also, why'd you leave it?
Well, originally I'd left it because it was only intended to be a summer employment because I was going to do it between the time I got out of high school and got into college.
Yeah.
But it eventually turned into a 6-month thing. But after a while, I don't know if the business dissolved or if it just transferred to another state, but I wasn't ready to go out there. So I just ended up leaving. It was sad. It was unfortunate, but it was a good experience. I really, really enjoyed it. The one that upset me the most, though, would have to have been Brookstone, because even though it was customer service and I was one of the floor workers in the mall store, it was so much fun because of the people that I see. Like on a daily basis, I would go in there and like fly the drones and all that stuff. And originally they had hired me for seasonal employment, like just during the Christmas season.
Yeah.
But they saw how hard of a worker I was and how much effort I put into it, and eventually they offered me a full position. And I was like, oh, this is going to be sweet. It's close to home. It's an easy job. I can come in here and do all the work. And then a month later, they got a notice that the business was shutting down.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is a giant kick in the nuts. Because I thought I was happy. I was set. Like coming to work in a suit every day because that's the dress code that they had over there. But now I went from being super happy to go into just dreading it. And on my last day, I was so out of it. I think I set off the security alarm for the back door like 3 times because I forgot to unlock it. So every time I went to take out the trash, it was just weep, 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 weep. And the boss would come over. He was like, "Yan, you were doing good, but what happened?" It's like, it's my last day, dude.
Like, it's my last day. I don't care anymore. No, but honestly, like even with that being sad about it, like how'd you work through it though? Like after, like how mentally did you get through it?
I think I pulled through it usually like how you pull through stuff like that. I buckled down. I was like, okay, this is an unfortunate thing, but it's something that I have no control over, so let me put in an application for another job.
Yeah.
And that's when I went into being a mechanic, like the suspension mechanic.
Yeah.
And that one came and went. Don't know what happened there. He just didn't tell me to come in one day. And then the next thing I know, I'm working at a deli. and that was fun. I did that for 3 years.
Yeah. Does anything like mentally hit you when you know something like that's coming up of like getting let go or you leaving?
A little bit of apprehension, just because unlike you, I form a connection with some of the people there. I actually do like hanging out.
I form a connection. I just don't care about it.
Yeah. But like when I was with the deli company, I was talking with one of the employees about starting up a Dungeons and Dragons game.
Yeah.
And I was so into it and everything like that. And then my brother-in-law told me about
the
job
you
I
have
currently have. And when I applied there, I didn't tell my boss. I just told him I needed personal days when I went into the interview, because I didn't want him to treat me differently because he knew I was leaving.
Okay.
Which he wouldn't have. He was a really cool guy. But
Just defensive mechanism for you.
yeah, but that plan went out the window when my current job called the deli and was like, "Hey, does this guy work for you?" And he was like, "So Zach."
Yeah.
Like, as soon as he got off the phone and turned around and just went, "So Zach," and I felt my heart sink. I was like, "Oh God, he knows."
Because you felt bad, or because like why?
Not really because I felt bad, just because I wasn't telling the full truth, and you know how I like to tell the truth.
Yeah.
Because I was telling him, "Oh, I have this
You
appointment.
like
I
to tell
need to
the
go to."
truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
So help me God.
But
But it was just the fact that I didn't tell him beforehand. So he pulled me to the back and he was like, "So why are you leaving?" It's like, "Boss, I understand this is a family company. I love it here. It's so nice, but I need something more. I need more hours, more."
was it more
cash.
of like I need to leave a job and I need to find a career?
Effectively, yeah.
Like that's how it felt.
But then again, he also knew how that company or how his business was, his family-owned business. It's a stepping stone company.
Yeah.
People come and go all the time. So he was like, "No, I completely understand. And in fact, I encourage you to go through with this because it could be something that you really like doing down the line."
Yeah.
So he was cool about it.
Which he was wrong because you do not like doing it down the line.
God, no.
But again, he understood what it was.
Yeah, he completely understood. He knew his company was a stepping stone company from the beginning.
Yeah.
And
there's a lot of companies, there's a lot of jobs like that where you look
Yeah.
at it and you have to go like, this is going to be a job. Like not every job is a
Yeah.
career. Not every job is the final one. You can look at jobs and go, I just need something right now. I'm going to do it right now. And then it'll help me when I put in an application somewhere else and go, yeah, I worked here for whatever amount of time. Call them. I have a great background there. I'm a hard worker. They'll tell you everything. I don't need to build myself up. I show it.
yeah, my favorite thing that I was told when in one of my career building classes.
Like your career, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, English is hard.
I know.
But one of the
Pause. Action.
Again, brain going too fast, lips not catching up.
Okay, pause. Pause.
Okay.
Pause.
Okay.
Think. Action.
In one of the career building classes, one of my favorite things that I heard was JOB is an acronym, and it stands for just over broke.
Mm-hmm.
And all I had in the past was jobs, like the demolition job, the mechanic job, the Brookstone job, the deli job. I was barely making it by with all the bills I had to do with my car, insurance, cell phone, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Then once I got to where I am now with the company that I am now, I'm actually in a financially stable situation, so I can see this being more of a career
Yeah.
if the job didn't suck ass.
Yeah.
That's the long and short of it.
No, yeah. It's just, again, that's how some jobs feel. And it's, again, if you have that mentality with it, it is hard to get through it. But like you just, like, again, if that's how you see it, if you see it as being that bad, why are you still there?
Money.
So financial stability.
Yeah, financial
Okay.
stability.
So beyond that, how are you getting over it mentally?
Taking a lot of personal days, not like calling off work to just go do something or something
Like
like
us just
that.
hanging out just helps you get
Yeah.
through the rest of the week?
Yeah. It gives me the energy to go, okay, maybe it's not so bad.
Okay.
And then I can think about things that I did over my weekend and all that stuff.
Yeah. Because that's where, again, we differ because like I'd much rather go, okay, I don't have tomorrow off. I have to work, so let me just keep pushing through and pushing through and pushing through and pushing. And then it just becomes that motion where you're just like, all right, I can do this. Like there's nothing mental there because I'm not going to be like, oh, I'm so tired that no, I'm happy working. I like doing whatever I do as long as I'm working. And it just keeps going and going and going. And I don't really need that day off because for me, I vacation? Like I just, that never really happened.
Yeah.
Like mine was more of I'd much rather work. Hey, we're going to take a week off and go to our house in Arizona. That's a long time.
Yeah.
That's a long time. Even, okay, we're going to go for the weekend. That's a long time. Like I'd much rather work. Like if I
Yeah.
could have a job that was 7 days, 10 hours, cool, I'd do that, but not allowed to. But it's still one of those things. That's why I'd much rather work for myself and be able to do stocks or anything like that and go. I can continuously work, and when I don't, but I will do it as much as I can.
Yeah. I think one of the things that would actually help me more at this job is if I had a set schedule. I
Yeah.
have enough time now, since it's union based and all that stuff, that I can actually get a set schedule, but having it change every
Yeah.
2, 3, 4 months or something like that, you plan everything and then something happens and now you have to rearrange everything.
Yeah.
And it's just stressful. And it's one of the things where I'm just like, okay, I'm looking forward to this weekend because I'm going to go out to the range, or I'm going to go to Dave and Buster's, or I'm going to go hang out with my brother.
Yeah.
Just relax,
Yeah.
unwind, and let everything melt away.
I mean, so being at the job, what helps you though?
At the job, typically during my layovers, I'll listen to podcasts and stuff like that. Similar to this one, but mostly D&D. I just think about other stuff, focus on other things, but still focusing on the road, so I'm not being a dangerous driver. But during the job, I basically just turn my brain off and go into autopilot, which is pretty easy for me to do since there's not a lot up there.
But you think that helps mentally throughout the day?
Yeah, just this job helped me develop much thicker skin just because of the people that I have to deal with on a daily basis.
Yeah. Thankfully, I've never really had to deal with those type of people. Like, you know, even when I worked at the pizza place, I was a delivery driver, but that helped me more like with people than anything. Cause it was like, again, I worked there for so long. I go to one house and it'd be, oh, we just had a baby. We didn't hear you, blah, blah, blah. Or don't ring the doorbell cause the baby's sleeping. It's like, okay. And I call them or text them, hey, I'm outside with the pizza. And then they come, thank you so much. You're welcome. Like,
Yeah.
and go. And then all of a sudden it's 5 years later, knock, Mom, pizza guy's
you see
here.
the kid that, right?
Why are you talking? What? No, go back to sleep.
Last time I saw you, you were being swaddled. What the hell,
And
man?
so it's like sometimes on those points, like, you know, I got to the point with a lot of customers where I'd knock and they're like, is that Chris? I'm like, yeah. They're like, just put it on the kitchen table. Only because I trust you. And I go and put it on the table. Because there are stories of like stuff like that happening where it's the girl comes out with just a towel. Can you put it on the table? I'm so sorry. Yeah, I got it. And then you go to put it on the table, door gets shut behind you and the husband's there. You get beat up and then they hit you with a charge, even though that's not what happened. So they can sue the company you work for.
Oh, staged.
Yeah, full on stage.
That's-
But there's nothing there except two people's words against yours and somebody in a towel.
Yeah, that's pretty toxic.
It's pretty crazy when you look at stories like that. So it's like when I worked at a different pizza place, they're like, hey, if something like this ever happens, and I was like what? And then they told me that, and they're like, yeah, this place got sued because apparently somebody went, and I was like, oh, and that happened where somebody had a towel, and they're like, can you put? I was like, nope, I'll put it on the floor. You can go get dressed. I'll wait 10 minutes. I'm good. Not taking that chance. And then there was times that it'd be like somebody my age, and they're like, you're really cute. And I'm like, I am working, so if you want my number, we can talk after. Like,
Yeah.
it was just, I was never...
We could talk when I'm off the clock.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not going to... Because, again, I'm a very business person, so I have to look at it from the business perspective. So it's like, I don't own the place, but I'll look at it through their eyes.
Yeah,
It's the
because it's a
same-
totally understandable thing,
Yeah, it's just-
especially to try and dodge a lawsuit.
I just look at it going, okay,
Not
if I
dodge
own
a
this
lawsuit.
place, what would happen?
Yeah.
Like, if I did this, what would I want to teach people? That. Okay, then that's what I'm going to do. Nobody needs to teach me that. That's just what I'm going to do. Like, if I have managers, they're going to be the managers. You're the worker. Like, whatever way you want to look at it. But I always did that because then when I did finally, like, run a company for a couple years, it was way different. It was stuff that I never knew where I was like, I have to, wait, what? Okay.
Yeah, I have
Wait.
to prepare for this? What
Yeah,
the
and then-
hell?
Well, and so like even like firing somebody, I had no idea on like having to pay them like whatever it was next day's payday. Oh, they can just pick it up tomorrow, and then all of a sudden the next day they're like, oh, you owe me for a day. No, I don't. Oh, let me look at the law. Oh, I do. Oh, this is gonna be 3 days. Now I owe you 3 days. Oh, I don't like this. And then
Yeah.
all of a sudden now the owner's coming to me like, Chris. I was like, I didn't know. This is my first. I understand now. Take that from my paycheck if you have to. That's my bad. Like,
Yeah.
we'll-
You accept
we'll-
the responsibility.
yeah, because it is my responsibility 100%. So it's like it comes down to that point too. It's for me, it's just working as work. So it's like you just have to do it from the books. You have to be able to look at it and go 1, 2, 3, 4, continue it every day. Like you just have to keep going and going and going, and you're just good. And so some people look at it like this is mentally draining, and some people look at it like me where it's like, okay, this is actually fun because I'm learning.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I think with jobs, it's different for a lot of people. For me, I feel like it's a lot different for guys because we do look at it going, well, how much money can I make and how much time can I have off? Because my counterpartner is going to want this, this, and this. And we always have to put ourselves on this pedestal that we're not supposed to be at. Like, we don't need to be there at all. There's no reason. Like, we don't need to bring that much. We don't have to do all that. The average salary in America is like $50,000. Like, it's not that much. But everyone's like, oh, you don't have 6 figures a year. Oh, and it's like, that's the top 1% in America. Like, that's not even realistic, honestly. If you make more than like 350, I think it is, you're in the top 1% a year.
Pulling home $350K a year.
Yeah. But then a lot of guys look at that going, well, I need to bring home $1 million, like whatever it is, going, why?
Yeah.
And it's never like, because I want a nice house and I want a nice car or anything like that. It's like, because I want a nice car to take it somewhere so the girls see it. I want to take it. Have a nice home.
They want to show off.
And they want it. And it's not even to show off. They just know. Like, you can look at the studies of where if I drive this or I drive this is getting more attention. Plain out. That's just what it is. Like, there's no question about it. You show that you have the money, you're getting more attention. And again, you could be the nicest guy, have the best background, be very stable in where you're at in life, have everything you need, and then still not feel enough. And then you're going to work going, how do I be like that guy? How can I be like my manager? How can I be like the owner? And how can I do this? And how can I do that? And again, for me, it's just one of those, take a step back, breathe, understand you don't need to be there. You don't need to judge yourself and go, oh, okay, I need to be up here or else I'm not going to get looked at. Because if you're not going to be loved based on what you bring, they don't deserve your love. It's pretty simple there.
Exactly.
And so it's like, for me, it's the same way with work. If you have a job that you hate and you just don't want to go the next day and you just continuously find a new job. I know it's hard, but you don't need to be the CEO of Google. Go work at McDonald's. They're paying pretty well now, but it's literally just go do that. You don't need to go, oh, I work, let me make sure I look good. No, those people don't deserve your love. Those people don't deserve your time. Same with the work, same with the job. Those people don't deserve your time. Those people don't deserve your best. They deserve just enough. Because like my dad, he told me when I was working at a job that I was like, I'm going to look for a new job as soon as I got it. He was like, work enough to not get fired.
Yep, just enough to keep yourself there.
He's like, just work enough. If they tell you to do this, that's all you do. If they want you to do more, unless there's something behind it, no. You don't need to do that. If you're not getting paid to do all this extra stuff, don't do it. Do your job that they told you to do. If they tell you to do something else, you don't have to put your full energy into it. Do it, the amount, whatever. All right, I finished what you needed. Well, you should have been done 4 hours ago. I didn't even have to do this.
Yeah.
Like, you're mentally...
I'm doing this out of the kindness of my own heart.
Like, I'm mentally drained because you guys are making me do this, this, and this. And now I'm comparing myself to all these guys, and I'm only making this, and it just starts going in and out and in and out, and everyone just starts fighting with themselves going, I could be better. And then it just leads to a worse and worse hole that you dig yourself in. And it's just, sometimes you need to find those small things. And sometimes you do need to find that friend at work that you can BS with the whole time and just be like, hey, I hate that manager. Oh, blah, 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 whatever it is, you know.
The camaraderie in the job.
Yeah, and so some people like that. And so it's like, you know, even with the job when I was working at the factory, I had plenty of people I could do that with, but it was never after work. I'm like, let's go get a beer. No, like, I'm good. I'm cool with just BSing with you at work and then going home. Like, I'm here to work. Yeah. I'm going to do the least amount I can to stay here.
Yeah, it's a distinction between work friends and actual friends.
Yeah.
Because I have a lot of those people at work. Granted, I have hung out with a few of them after work and at different locations, but most of the time, if it's work, it's work. Yeah. If it's here, it's here.
Yeah.
Those are two completely separate entities because they live way the hell like close to the job, and I live all the way out here. I'm not going to drive all the way over there.
Yeah.
just
But again,
for the day
it's
off.
naturally you're going to find people at work that you're going to talk to and you're going to become friends with. And I'm not knocking if you go and hang out with them. I'm not going to knock and say, oh, you shouldn't do that. No, do whatever helps you at work. Do whatever helps you mentally. Do whatever helps you survive. That's 100%. Do whatever you can to make yourself happy. But for me, that's just not it. I'm not saying that's for you. I'm just saying personal experience, me talking about myself. I'd much rather come home and hang out with you than come home and text one of my coworkers and be like, hey, you want to go do something? I'm good. I have, again, the difference in friendship and friends. Like me and you have such a background that I don't have to worry about anything else. So it's,
Yeah,
I'm good.
hell, you can come over to my house unannounced, and my parents will be like, "Hey,
yeah,
Chris,
you
how
don't even have
doing?"
to be home.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, that's just one of those things that I look at where I'm like, a job is way different than life. It is, because a job is just helping you through life. You got to live life. You don't have to live your job. You don't have to go and this is all it is and this is all I am. You're not your job. You're not. And again, you don't need to focus on it to go, oh, I'm trying to reach this level for other people. If you're trying to reach that level for yourself, go for it. Do whatever you can to make it. But if you're doing it just to be that guy at the club or that guy at the restaurant, promise you, they're not worth it. In the end, they're not. And so it's
you're only going to surround yourself with people you do not want to hang out with.
exactly. And so it comes down to that point. So I think with jobs and talking about jobs from the male perspective, we have to look at it going, are we happy? Am I surviving?
Yeah,
That's it. Once you find a career, that's different. If you're looking at a job, like you said,
just over broke.
that's it. You got to look at it and just say, I'm good.
Yeah, will this keep me in a good spot for the time being till I find something that I can call a career? Because in reality, that's basically how it is.
Yeah. And so, again, you compare yourself to somebody that goes, oh, I drive a Bugatti or whatever it is.
Yeah,
You're not him.
I personally prefer, what is it, McLaren's?
Yeah. But it's like, you're not him. And you don't need to be him. You don't.
Nope.
That guy has a Ferrari. Cool. Good job.
Yeah, where are you going to drive it?
Proud of you. Like, I don't really care. Like, it's, again, the people that you're going to surround yourself because you have that, unless you're doing it for a work reason, there's no real reason. Like, again, there's certain times you want to do that if you own a business or something like that. Because, like, certain supercars and certain stuff like that is a job because you get it and now you have these connections with other people that can only afford it. And if you have that kind of job, it is nice to go, hey, blah, blah. Let's be business partners.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, now it turns into a job. Cool. Totally understandable, whatever it is. But if you're doing it just to go, oh, hi, my name's Chris. Dude,
Yeah.
the person that's going to go to you and go, oh my God, not the person you want.
Nope,
Flat
that's
out,
going to
like-
be a gold digger right off the bat.
Yeah. And so it just, again, if that's what you want, cool. But you don't. Like, you just figure out what you want with work, figure out what you want with your job. If you're not happy, find another one. Again, it's harder than it seems, but it's easier than it really is. And so it's just, there's a mix of everything for it. But how I see it is if it's a job, you want to be happy. You want to be able to get through it through the day. You don't want to wake up going, oh man, I have 2 more days. You'd much rather go, got 2 more days.
Yep.
And then focus on it, have that time off like you, and just be able to go, all right, I'm going to relax.
Yep, time
I'm
for
gonna-
some me time.
I'm going to watch YouTube and look at Dungeons and Dragons, like whatever you want to do. And then be able to go, all right, I'm relaxed. Time for work Monday. Let's go. And just go back to work. Like, you don't have to look at it dreading every moment. I think having those days where the smallest thing can help, focus on that small thing.
Yeah.
Honestly, focus on it. Like, look at it and just go, okay, I talked to Tyler today. It helped talking to him because it was just a draining day.
Not
And
my-
I needed
Not my
something.
cousin, though.
No, but it's just one of those things that you look at and you're just, all right, I got through the day. Next day's here. Let's go. Any day above the ground's a good day. So continue it, and just
Yep.
be able to mentally go, I'm not going to compare myself. I'm not going to wish I had something. I'm going to be happy where I'm at. And if I'm not, I'm going to change where I'm at. It's the same. If I'm in a group of friends and they're all talking behind my back, I'm not staying in that group of friends. I'm going to call them out on it.
Yeah.
I'm going to say bye and then not talk to them.
Yeah. If you have something to say about me, don't say it behind my back. Say it to my face. That's what I like to
But
live
I
by.
do that with jobs as well. Yeah. I do that with, if I have a job and I show that I'm a hard worker, whatever it is, and my manager's going, Chris, you deserve to be up here. But then I talk to another one that they're like, that manager's never said that. I'll go to my manager and go, hey, so you say all this stuff, but where's the actions behind it?
Yeah, where's your backup?
Where's anything else? Well, okay, then I'm out. It's that simple. I'm out.
Yeah,
I'm not going to work.
If you're not going to back your words, then don't say it.
Yeah, I'm not going to. No, I'm good. I do my job to the fullest, the least amount, and then
To the bare minimum.
yeah, like I'll do my job to the fullest, like whatever you're telling me to do.
But not past it.
I'm not going to cut any corners, but I'm not going to also work and sweat my ass off just to go, oh, okay, whew, all right, it's done. No, I'm going to be like, all right, it's done. It should have taken 30 minutes. All right, it took 35, my bad. I'm cool.
Oops.
Yeah, like, okay, I did my job. You're good. I'm not here on a time limit. You told me to do something. I'm going to do it. Like, it's that simple.
Yeah.
But again, I think it's a lot easier and a lot clearer mentally if you have something you kind of like or you do like. And again, if you're in a tough spot with the job, find something small or find those breaks that help you. Don't have a break and just talk about your job. Talk about something else, because even something that small helps so much. Even having, your 15 minutes. You don't want to go outside with your coworkers. Oh, dude, when we were doing this and we were making that and we were whatever it is. Why are you talking about your job? If you're so stressed out about it, keep it inside. Kick it off on your boots. Like, stop. Talk about something else. Go, hey, so D&D. Hey, so this movie came out. Hey, so this TV show. Hey, so Game of Thrones sucks. Like, whatever you want to say and be able to go.
You just said that on a public platform.
I don't care. The first part of Game of Thrones was good. The last season sucked. Don't care.
I wouldn't know because I've never watched it.
You just said that on a public platform. So
I know, but they can't get on me for not
people will
it.
get on you more for not seeing it than somebody not liking it.
I can do the theme song. I can do the theme song.
Okay, go ahead.
Only because it.
That's not the whole thing. Keep going.
Oh, I can't do the whole thing. I know.
Go ahead. It's a 7-minute intro.
Oh God, I didn't.
Yeah,
realize
you don't know
that.
the whole intro, son.
The only reason I remember most of it is from South Park. Wiener, we know wiener,
Yeah,
we know wiener.
that's nope. But again, we're joking around right here, but not really. I do think the last season sucked, but it is just one of those things. Like, again, I was able to go to work and then have that 15-minute break, 30-minute break, hour lunch, whatever it is, go out with my coworkers and go, hey, so did you watch this? And it would just help drain, and it would help mentally 100%, because you're just going, okay, this is rolling. I'm thinking about work. Slow it down.
Yeah, let's put that on pause.
Let's relax. Let's do this. Okay, now go back to work. But again, I think mentally, depending on your job, depending on what it is, if you can do better, do better. And if you can't, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Like, again, if you're mentally drained from your job, 100%, I think you should find a new job.
No matter how daunting it may be at the time.
You have to take risks. You have to take chances. The only reason I say don't do that is if financially you cannot whatsoever.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I'd say not.
The best thing I could suggest.
Try to find one. If they hire you, give your 2 weeks and fix it that way. If not, it is what it is.
Yeah. The best thing I could suggest is have a financial cushion. Have whatever you're comfortable with, like 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 in the bank. And then from there, start looking for another job.
But again, a lot harder said.
Yeah. It's easier said than done. But personally, that's how I do it.
Yeah.
I like to have myself a decent cushion before I go, okay, now I could start looking at other jobs here.
Yeah.
And if those fall through, then I have this much revenue left.
Yeah.
Before I have to go, okay, now I just need to get a job so I can get my cushion back and my financial stability.
Because for me, I'd much rather have a job lined up than just leave it. And so there's been times where when I worked as a driver somewhere else and then I was going to get the warehouse job, I knew I was going to get let go from the driver job because I found them being sketchy. Like, they were taking money away when they shouldn't have. And I found it out. And so they basically paid everyone off. Everyone had to sign an NDA and got like $100 for it, where they owed everybody way more than that. And so it was only me and like 5 people I talked to there that I was like, don't sign it. Like, if they give you anything, don't sign it. Tell them I want to know what this is about. And then they'll pay you whatever they owe you. Because they owed people thousands. They didn't owe people hundreds. Like they owed some people thousands. And so like I still made the company lose probably like $50,000 or $100,000.
Yeah, but with a company of that size, it probably
It didn't. Yeah, it doesn't affect them whatsoever. But it was it was enough for them to go, hey, you're going to come in on Thursday at 10 o'clock. Well, normally I come in at 6. Well, come in at 10. Well, that sounds like I'm getting let go. And so then I called somebody else and went, hey, is that job still open? Yeah. When can I have an interview? Thursday. What time? Probably like 1 o'clock. Perfect. I'll be there. And then go to my other job. And they're like, hey. And I was like, okay, let's talk. I'm cool. Like, I'm not worried about it. Mentally, I'm already prepared for what's going to happen. And I'm already backed up. So,
yeah.
And then, okay, well, Chris, this happened, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, my phone rang. And they're like, can you please silence that? And I went, no. Hello? Is this Chris? Oh, yeah. How you doing? This is blah, blah. Oh, how you doing, man? So I heard you're going to come in at 1. Yeah, 1 o'clock? Yeah. Oh, I can't wait to meet you. Can't wait. All right, have a good one. You too, sir. All right, can we speed this up? Because I have a job interview. And my manager's jaw just dropped. Like, are you serious? And I was like, you have the paperwork in front of you. I already read what's happening. Like,
yeah.
I've already seen this. I'm cool to go. Like, I'm not worried about it. But once that came and I saw that, I was already looking for other jobs.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to work for somebody that's like, I don't like people talking behind my back. Now you're messing with my money. Now this is different.
Yeah.
Like, what?
I feel the best time to look for a new job is while you currently have a job.
Exactly. So it's a lot easier to go, hey, I'm going to leave tomorrow. I'm going to leave in a week. I'm going to leave in a month, whatever day you can just get started. You don't have to give them 2 weeks. They're not going to give you 2 weeks to fire you.
Yeah, it's not required.
Yeah. Like if you want to be nice, you can, but you don't have to. Legally is not, no, you're good. And if you get fired, they have to legally pay you that day. So there's plenty of things that can happen, but it's still, all right, well, if I'm going to be happier somewhere else, I'm going to go somewhere else. I had 3 jobs in 1 year because it was, let me work here. This isn't for me. Let me look for another job. Found another one. Hey, I'm leaving. All right. Okay, this is cool. I like this. Okay, now you guys are being sketchy. Okay, let me look. Found another one. Hey, you're coming in. I'm cool. Let's do that. All right, found this one. This is cool. Yeah, this isn't cool. Let me find something else. And I just continue until I find something I actually like, and then I'll stay there. But even at that point, who knows? I might have something else. So it comes down to, if you mentally want to be okay, do a job, find something you like, and get it. And again, if you're so drained from the one you're at, it doesn't matter if you work at McDonald's. It doesn't matter if you're a drive-thru, if you're a restaurant waiter, if whatever it is. Don't do it for somebody else. Do it for yourself. Don't try to be the one to bring home the bacon. You don't need to.
Yeah, make yourself happy first, because your mental stability is key.
Yeah.
So.
I know. I saw you looking at the time. Give me the AI story.
All right, it's that time.
Give it. Again, AI story. We do not own the website. We just use it. Open it with your thumb, please, or your finger, or whatever it is. You got this. I believe in you. Technical difficulties. No. It's an AI website that we use. We do not own it. We put in a little bit.
Yep. We type. Usually it's him because he has a more creative mind.
100%.
But he'll put in a prompt, and then the AI will generate a story based off of that prompt. Typically, we like to keep it 1 to maybe 3 pages. This one is a shorter one today, right? Should be relatively easy and short read.
It's always going to be whatever we're talking about, whatever the main focus is on the episode. So, of course, this one's going to be about jobs. And I think it's from a female perspective, if I look through this. Or it could be a guy, who knows. But, yeah, I'm going to read it, and we'll see what we both think. You haven't read it. I've read about half of it. And then we'll talk about it.
Most of the time when we're going into these stories, I have no idea what it's going to be unless I write the prompt.
Yeah. All right.
But 3, 2, 1, go.
Prompt. When I got fired from my job, I didn't know what to do with my life anymore. AI takes over. It was only then that it occurred to me, in fact, that I had never really had a career or even a plan for the future. I knew that I wanted to go back to school, but after working so hard and investing so much time in my previous career, I was hesitant to give up on it. There was also so many things I still wanted to try before I settled down into something more stable. After all, I wasn't getting any younger. And besides, there'd be plenty of other jobs once I finished studying. I started looking around at different colleges, trying to decide where to enroll. But what if I went too far away? But what if I made it harder for me to get a job when I graduated? Maybe I should just study online instead. That way I could keep working full-time until I graduated and then look for something for work as soon as possible, which means I need to start now by making sure that I'm well prepared for my classes next year. It's funny how I've always worried about whether or not I'd find a boyfriend when I was growing up. I thought about it constantly. I dreamed about it every night, and I kept a list of all the guys who might make a good partner. But now that I finally have one, I can tell you how much I love him. He's smart, cute, and best of all, he loves me too. I don't think we'll ever want to leave each other's side. I've been dating my boyfriend for a few months now, and we're planning on buying our first house together. We both like the idea of having a big place where we can live together. It won't be easy though. Both of us are still in debt from the last recession. However, we have faith that things will work out eventually. Even if it takes a little longer than expected, we know that everything happens for a reason. As long as we're together, we'll be happy.
I like that one.
Yeah. Like I said, it turned it right off the bat. I was happy that it did.
Yeah. Again, we have no control of where the AI takes this story, so most of the time it's really good. Some of the times it's not so
sometimes
good.
we can put the prompt in and say, we're talking about this, and then it ends up over here, and we're like, okay, well, that's where it ended. Like, again, we don't write the whole thing. We just do it.
Yeah.
Through that story, though, right off the bat about switching it and all that, what do you think? Like, for, like, your background with jobs and everything like that, is there anything in there that connects with you?
I think it would be the combination of having to go to classes as well as the stress of work. Because I remember multiple times when I was working the deli job that I would actually have to change in my car driving to school just to get to my classes on time, because I would end my shift at, say, like 1 o'clock and my classes would start at 2:30. And I would have to drive like 30 miles in traffic just to get to school.
Okay, with that, like with the story, were you mentally like anxious, like how she or he felt?
Yeah, I was mentally anxious because it was always, am I going to get to class on time? Am I going to fail this class? Am I going to be able to retain this both for work and school? But I can completely understand where they're coming from.
Okay. If, again, I mean, not if, when you have a job that is tiring, mentally draining, all of the above that we've talked about, what mentally or physically do you do that helps you the most?
Most of the time, it's zoning out, just completely pouring all of my focus into work. But during break times and stuff like that, I would go on my phone, look up D&D stuff, basically anything to take my mind off work so I can just separate myself, give myself that third-person outlook and just, okay, this is a busy day, but it's not horrible. Yeah. I can deal with this, and it'll get lighter. It'll get easier.
Yeah.
And then when I go back into it, it's refreshed. I'm like a new guy.
Okay. Because mine, after reading it fully, seeing the line saying I've poured so much into this, it's going to be hard to leave, basically, I feel like that's a lot of people.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people have these jobs where they look at it like this is going to be a stepping stone, but then you're there for 5 years, whatever it is, and you might have something over here that you just keep looking at like, maybe I'll go try that. But you kind of like chain yourself down. Like, I've been here for so long. It's going to be hard. I don't want to hurt feelings.
Yeah.
I don't, yada, yada.
That
like,
stepping stone turned into a house that you built.
Basically. And so it's like how you were saying with the owner.
Yeah.
Of the same way. It's like, I don't really want to tell him because I don't want to hurt his feelings at the same time, but I also don't want to be looked at differently because it's like,
I don't think it was really more about hurting his feelings. It's I didn't want to be treated differently in the workplace, because that's one of the things that I heard a lot of smaller businesses do. Even though I know in the back of my head he wouldn't have done that, just because of the guy he is.
Yeah,
but
you just had different walls up for different reasons.
Yeah, but I can completely understand like the apprehension of leaving a job
after putting so much work into it.
Yeah,
because like. Again, the pizza place, I worked there for so long. So it was like, even after the big thing that happened on the last one, I was finally over it. It was like both the owners showed up like, hey, Chris. And I'm like, hi. Like, we're still friends. I still talk to them. Like, if they have an anniversary, I still go because they still see me as one of their workers. But at the end of the day, it's you know, when I left, I didn't want to hurt their feelings. But at the end of the day, it was about me. Like, it's a job. This isn't a friendship. Like, this is a job.
Yeah.
I have to make sure I can take care of myself and whatever comes with that. And it just, came to a point where it was, I need to be happy working. I'm happy working all the time, but if I'm surrounded by certain people, it's going to be very hard. With that job, it was just one, but it came to the point where it's, okay, you either show the action behind it or you don't. And if I don't see the action behind it, I leave. That's basically with anything, but mostly jobs. If there's no action behind your words, they're just words. I don't care. Like, what does that matter? You're not doing anything.
Sticks and stones. Sticks and stones.
Uh-huh.
You know the phrase.
I'm waiting for you to say it.
Oh, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words can never hurt me.
Yeah. But chains and whips excite me. That's a song. That's not the saying. I get them mixed up. But again,
I mean, I've heard some of your escapades, so.
True. But it does come to a point, again, I think from the male perspective of we put ourselves somewhere so high because we just see that in society and we see what we want that. But you don't know, or let me rephrase. You see something that you want that, but that's something you don't need.
Yeah, needs and wants are two completely different things.
And so, again, from my heart, how I see it, if you are not happy working where you're at, if you're not happy where you're at in life, take a step, find something new. There's going to be something. So, with that, it's going to be the end.
Already?
It is, unfortunately.
Dang.
I think you guys should let us know.
Yeah. Give us your feedback.
What do you do at work that helps you get through the day? And if you are worried about taking that step or you are anxious about something at work, talk to us. Let us know. I want to hear what it is because I might have gone through something the same or he might have gone through something the same that we're going to be able to give you that outside perspective and we're not going to tell you this is what you should do. It's just this is a different view. And so if that helps you learn and that helps you understand what you need to do, I'm all for it. Anything that helps you mentally, anything that helps you grow, I'm here to help. And I'm here to also listen. I'm also here to learn. If you have something that you can teach me, please do. But I think with that, we will see you in the next episode.
Yep.
You are enough. I love you.
Yeah. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, night, whatever time it is, wherever you are. But hope it's great.
Bye.
Yeah. See you later, guys.